You know, this week has been a little strange for me. I I thought Tuesday was Wednesday, Thursday was Friday, Saturday was Friday, Monday was Tuesday. It has been a wild week, but hello everybody. Happy Monday. How's it going? How's everyone doing today? I have learned something over the week. Actually, I've learned plenty of things, and I'm going to be addressing a lot of them over the start of the stream. First of all, we have a lot of cars going to Alarka thanks to Tier 5 at those industries now. Like, yesterday we probably had, like, 6 to 8 cars. We now have how much? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... I'm not counting that out, I'm lazy. We have 19 cars worth of freight going all to Alarka today. So that's going to be fun. In order to try and compensate for this, we have a new engine. I was thinking of going for a C46, but I realized we need to repay our loan eventually, and that is not happening if we got a C46. Well, I guess it wouldn't not happen, but it would just take longer, you know? But we actually got so many cars at the interchange, we also had to skip ahead on time. You might notice it is not the morning anymore. It is actually almost evening. Today we're going to be doing some nighttime running. The last thing that I learned this week is that I don't know who told me this. I don't know who told me the keyboard I've been using on stream is better than this keyboard, the wireless one that I was intentionally trying to use, but the wireless one is better, so we're going to be using the wireless one. At least it's quieter, I should say. You got a K35? Heck yeah, we got a K35. One of the reasons I actually went for the K35 is just because I think it's going to be funny having the lower coal capacity and water capacity. It's also going to be a little bit interesting because I didn't refill it on coal here in Whittier, because we actually are almost out of coal here in Whittier, and I'd rather save it for something vital. So we're going to see if we can make it to Bryson with this cut of cars. Wish me luck. We still got 60-60 at Larka. Let's roll. Just playing with my model steam engine right now. Lucky. I bought a new one this week, but it didn't come with all the components, and I wasn't able to play with mine, unfortunately. Gonna be getting a new desk by the end of the at the end of the week. My tiny 1.25 by 4 desk will finally be replaced with a much bigger desk that's at least 2 by 5. 2 by 5? That's a nice large size. Mine's 2 by 6. And sometimes it feels too big. Sometimes it feels way too small, considering how much trash I kind of just pile up on it. Been getting back into Derail Valley recently. Ran a huge ore train with 2 S282s, and I didn't blow up either of them. That's an accomplishment. That takes skill. Currently making an SP-2472 livery for the S282 and hoping for more SP locomotives soon. I need to do Derail Valley again. We do have the Streamathon coming up. Maybe I should get a budget VR headset and end the Streamathon with me actually doing VR train running. Gotta actually make an announcement for that, since it's coming up in like 3 weeks. Number 4 for the Ample Whittier and Southeastern. I almost just said Southern. Because Southeastern has stir in the name, and YouTube likes to highlight it whenever anybody says my name, even if it's they don't understand the context. Those 4 letters appear, you know that a little orange blob is gonna appear on my on my OBS. So that just mentally, like, screwed me up there. Southeastern? No, it's Southern, clearly, because that orange block is my name, right? Hey, Nina, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. I accounted for Discord now. Ooh, nice, nice. You can see all the silly memes that people post during the streams and after the streams. Hope you enjoy your stay. Hold on, I just want to double check. Yep, that's what I expected. Yard, mover back. 2 cars. Been playing DV recently too. Got my military license today, which means now I get to play with extra spicy boys. Oh man, that would be so much fun. To end off the stream-a-thon, do Derail Valley with a steam locomotive hauling military nukes. Hauling military contracts. That'd be a blast. I think the reason I've never blown up a steam locomotive in Derail Valley is because I'm like, sight glasses at 2/3 full, aggressive injector noises. See, I'm the same way, Celestial. The problem is that I was just running the engine poorly and on a very steep uphill grade, and that big boom. Nuke of the century. And a diesel coming the other way, hauling ammunition. Ah, yes, that sounds responsible. Having a runaway train coming down the hill with just purely ammunition. You're wondering what brand my engines are from? It's from a British company called Mamad. I've never heard of that company, actually. Sorry, Emily, what did I miss? You're only like 12 minutes late. You haven't missed much of anything. We grabbed a train from Whittier that is headed to Alarka. Very long train. Got a new engine. Oh yeah, another thing that I did this week that I forgot to mention at the start of the stream, I actually adjusted the color saturation values so that there's a what did I change it to? Post exposure I actually left alone. It's still at 1.2, but I upped the contrast to 2.5, and things feel a little more colorful. Actually, I might have upped the post exposure to 1.2. I don't remember. I remember I upped it to 1.4 at some point, but I just thought that was a little too colorful. So. Oh, right, I forgot to set a good whistle for this engine. Hold on. It's a good choice. Nah, that one feels like a Dark Lord summoning. Don't we already have that on an engine? I feel like we already have that on an engine. A little too high pitched for my liking. I feel like we have that on an engine too. I don't think we have that one. You know what? We'll stick with this. For the simulator update, I would always run massive ammunition trains with the S2A2. Made like 100,000 per trip, but the risk of kaboom was very high. Jeez Louise. Man, if only we could actually make that kind of money for running a train for like an hour. I wish. I think in theory I could do a triple header of S2A2s without blowing any up, but I'm not going to because I would have heart palpitations from stress and die. At least my digital choo-choos would be fine. Are you sure they'd be fine? You'd have heart palpitations and then nobody would be there to adjust the regulator. And if nobody adjusts the regulator and nobody uses the injectors... Alright, we're going to take a quick stop in Bryson so that we can fill up on coal and water. Speaking of crown sheet failures, I don't exactly feel like having one of those today. Remember trying a coal run with an 060 behind the 282 as a helper. Ended up working it too hard and exploded halfway to the military base. Nice. Almost all of my engines are currently out of action, and the only one left is the starter mogul, currently leading the return coal run out of Bryson at 5 miles an hour. How much coal are you hauling with that? Tier 1, Tier 3, Tier 5? Tier 5 coal drag with a G16. That'd be fun. How far out of Whittier are you, Mudge? Oh, you're barely out of Whittier. Maybe they should add the ability to lease loco specifically for you, GP30. Oh, my brain's realizing I now realize what you're trying to say. I don't know why I misread that. Loco leasing could be kind of interesting, but you could always simulate that by getting a loan, buying a locomotive, and then selling it once you're done using it. I'm surprised we only used, what, 0.3 tons of coal getting here? Maybe 0.6? It's not bad. Model I have is a TE1A? What's a TE1A? Gonna have to Google this. I'm not seeing any results for trains here. I'm seeing tractors. Oh, it's live steam? Okay, that's cool. I'm not much of a tractor guy, but live steam I can get behind. Got the DH4 license recently, and that thing is a beast. Twice now I've ran it over tonnage up the grade out of the harbor, and although it struggles, it's made it. I like the DH4 a lot. That's the red one that's sort of like mildly center cab. Low hood at the very least, right? That's the one. I'm excited to go see live steam and little narrow gauge engines. I'm so happy that I was able to point out the fake steam engine for you. Still, you'd be surprised how big 2-foot gauge locomotives can be. I mean, sure, they're small compared to like standard gauge, but like they're still trains, you know? I'm passing Government Island at 3 miles an hour. Oh, good lord. Hey, trusty little G16 pulling through. Goodness gracious, though. If you're ever gonna fail hauling up a hill, Government Island is like the worst place to fail. Sure, it's got a slightly steeper grade there. It goes up to like 1.3, 1.4%, but like, it's right there. Right at the end of the hill. Why does it get so suddenly steeper? Pain. If I fail, I can always just split the train to the siding. God, I keep forgetting that doubling a hill is an option. I don't know why. I really need to consider doing that more often than just getting multiple engines. Now, multiple engines are fun. Multiple engines are fun. Speaking of live Steam, there aren't any good places to run live Steam locos in my area. See, simple solution for that, Celestial: build a good area for live Steam locos in your region. What I want to do is in the future is make a live Steam replica of the RMS Mauritania, or at least a generic 4-piper with turbines. That could be fun. How would you operate it though? Servos? And a remote control? Or would you just make it like a full-on boat that you can ride that's live Steam operated? Made it to Alarka with the copper? Nope. This is the Alarka copper train. All these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cars. All of them are going to the copper company today. Had to deal with 4 freight cars for Ela and Railroader, 2 box cars for the freight house, and 2 box cars for the Ela farm and supply store. We had something like that the other day here. Hold on. I think today we only have 2 cars going to Ela farm and supply. Yeah, there's wait a minute. Maybe we have more than 2 cars. Yeah, we had 4 box cars coming out to these 2 places, though. Gonna join that service soon. I might brown the Mikado. I have been on my personal railroad, because anything that's similar on my railroad, I brown it like what happened 2 weeks ago. I just always find a way to brown something. Don't worry, you're not the only one. You weren't here when we had the head-on collision between the passenger train and the coal train. It just seems that every week we have somebody on the stream, like it's a curse. Somebody is chosen at random, and they are required to brown something. Hey, Eagle's almost back to life. Almost. She's been in the sheds for 3 weeks. Hey, Orison, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. 3 cars for Ela on my tail. Okay, I thought there were 2 cars, but now that you mention it, yeah, there's 3 cars for Ela today, aren't there? I forgot. I'm stupid. How anticlimactic. No smoke. I mean, we're gonna have a lot of trains coming into Bryson here, I just realized. Because I'm already in Bryson. I'm holding for the coal train. The passenger train is leaving Hemingway, following the coal train. And Mudge on the Bryson local is going to be pulling into Bryson before the coal train leaves town. We're gonna be having a lot going on here. You know what, actually, because of this, I'm gonna back up the mixed freight. Screw that. I want to be in the middle of town so I can see more of the action. Hopefully that won't happen to me today. Hold on, let's roll a d20 and see what your luck's like today. 14, not bad, not bad. How do you do pictures in Railroader? Personally, I use a program called ShareX. It's a free little screenshotting tool. I've had it for years. But another option, a really solid option for those who don't want to download a screenshotting program, is to just press F12 on your keyboard, which is Steam screenshot modes. But for hiding the UI, it's just Control and P. Luck was my dump stat. I love the idea that if you completely trash luck, it doesn't immediately show up, but it just gives you huge bursts of bad luck every now and again, like the head-on collision. Perfect metal image. Easy screenshots. Now, where's Mudge at in relation to all this madness? Close. Very close. Currently on my way to the airport to get to Japan for a family vacation. Lucky. Man, I'm so jealous. I feel like I've had 3 to 5 people in the last few months be like, oh yeah, we went to Japan, the trains were awesome there, and I just have to sit here and cry myself to sleep knowing that I'll never make it out to Japan. I'm jealous. Hello, Nick. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Man, seeing all these gondolas, or not gondolas, these skeletons, I really gotta get the logging gondolas mod. Goodness. Yes, please, estate flats at least. Yeah, exactly. Something that looks a little more mainline oriented than the skeletons. Please. Failed to get the train up the grade, but the top of Government Island flat, so I just stumbled the hill for like 200 feet. Hey, if it works, it works. God, that's so depressing though, just failing to get to the top of the hill by 200 feet. Ow, that hurts my soul. Want to get pictures in rarity to show friends on the Against the Tide Discord channel. I don't know that channel. Yeah, if you're looking for screenshots, I would recommend just doing Control P and F12 on your keyboard. It's the easiest way to do it. Just a bunch of tiny logs in the seats of a 6-axle coach. I mean, that would be one way to transport logs. You know, they used to transport lumber in boxcars, and they had special doors on the ends of the boxcars that you could push the lumber through. A passenger car is basically just that. Just open the doors at the end of the car and push in the logs. Problem solved. Oh, that's a picture. I already had to double the hill earlier because they had to combine the call. Run with the eastbound mix? Oh no, wait. You combined the loaded coal train with a mixed train? And you were only using a G16? Goodness gracious. Lumber and Twigs, welcome aboard the 3:37 p.m. train to the Whittier Sawmill. We'll be coming around to hand out beverages shortly. Thank you for riding with National Pacific. No. That implies that there is an airline specifically designed for carrying logs, Celestial. Why would somebody do that? Last time the G16 was on my passenger service was when one had to go to the shop when she was brown. Don't think 3 will be pulling the train anytime soon. We don't even have a G16 on this railroad. We scrapped her and replaced her with a 440. Which is funny because the 440 is actually reaching a point where we might have to ditch it because it's starting to get too weak. Then again, the 460 is starting to get a little too weak. We might expand to Silva, get a few small mods. We'll see. We'll see. 3:30? I thought it was only 12:30. Damn, I lazied the day away. That has been me this entire week, Eon. You missed it. We were talking at the start of the stream. I thought that Tuesday was Wednesday, Thursday was Friday, Saturday was Friday, and what was it? Oh yeah, Monday was Tuesday. I don't know why, but my sense of time has just been completely out of whack today. Against the Tide Discord channels for the Against the Tide, a worm/chemical snippet series, which is on Space Battle's website. It's helped the writer write Against the Tide snippet series. I don't know what a worm/chemical snippet series is. Sounds kind of cool though. Helping other people write stories. I'm jealous. Welcome to Trebuchet Air, your #1 air travel solution after the Great Collapse. Please, wear your bike helmets during your flight. Make sure your parachute is ready by doing a test pull, and if it isn't, aim for the landing pads for a softer experience. Just got back from Dairy Queen, lucky. They kind of shut down the local Dairy Queen around here. It's really sad. There was one up near a high school that they were renovating, and it's just, they're not doing it anymore apparently. At least from what I've heard. They've got other Dairy Queens around here though. I tried to pester my sister last week. We were going out for her birthday on the little garden railway tour, but she didn't want to. She wanted food, but she only wanted food 10 minutes after we passed the Dairy Queen. Reason why is because at the time it was at 3 cars. Now it's at 6. I think you could probably get away with hauling a passenger train with the G16, the 6 cars long, but it would have to be the lightweight cars. Lightweight cars are probably the best cars in the game, though. I wanted to make a stupid remark about having a lame office job kind of helps things keep the day straight, but it doesn't. And it comes across as kind of judgmental. I kind of get the point. I kind of see that point, though. Having that sort of routine can help. But, like, I've been trying to keep myself busy, and I've been trying to keep on top of the days. I still forgot. I don't know why. I don't know how. Apparently I'm just an idiot this week. Your in-flight entertainment today will be the G-forces and me screaming. Thank you for flying with Trebuchet Air. Fasten your seatbelts and enjoy your flight. Ah! Our flight time today is 30 seconds if we're lucky. Our Dairy Queen's front window gives you a perfect view of the burnt-out former high school building. Between the two is the middle school football field, so you can just see the whole burnt-out school. Oh, that's great. I still love that they listed it as a historical building to save money, and now that it's burnt down, they have to rebuild the whole thing. I have a lame office job. It doesn't help keep the days straight. They all turn into white noise. They all just turn into a memory bundle, a memory blur. See, I totally could understand, like, some people saying, oh yeah, it helps me with my scheduling, but other people saying not, that it doesn't. Because, like, on one hand, it just becomes so much of a routine that it just sort of blurs together. On the other hand, you kind of have to keep a schedule to make sure that you're keeping up with the routine at the right times and whatnot, you know? Count your blessings, you don't work retail. Count your blessings, you don't have to deal with those customers who think they're on top of the world and can immediately fire you just because you looked at them the wrong way while stacking oranges. I've decided someone just needs to pay me to go fishing and camping all the time. I don't actually want to work, I just want a paycheck. That is the vibe of life right there. Fun fact, if I recall correctly, the Dairy Queen in my town is the first Dairy Queen that still exists and hasn't been turned into something else in Canada. At least I don't remember, to be honest. Wait, so that implies that Dairy Queens are slowly going extinct in Canada. Which is certainly an implication. Reassembled the entire eastbound at Ela, and now I'm just trying to gain enough speed to make it up the grade at Barker's. Good luck. Barker's is around as steep as the grade between Governor's Island and Bryson, right? Become a fisherman. Yes, you know, that is true. You know, I've got a friend who actually has joined the recent local hatchery, and he really likes fish. He also really likes cats. But he's actually really passionate about this stuff, and he got 2 job offers and whatnot this week about working at a local hatchery. That sounds like a fun dream job to get invested in. Kind of jealous of him. We must petition the monarch of lactose intolerance to open more Dairy Queens. Gonna send you an invite to the Against the Tide Discord channel. I probably won't join, no offense, but like, I already have too many Discord channels to keep track of, and servers and whatnot. I think I'm sitting on... let me double check here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20? That's probably more than I can realistically handle. The totally false impression I have of Canada leads me, to believe that there would not be much demand for fake ice cream treats, spending a harsh winter hunkered down in an England. That's to kill the desire. Mom, what are we having for dinner tonight? Otter Pops. Is this punishment for me breaking the TV? Absolutely. There's no Florida East Coast 462 Pacific design as a mod for Railroader. I mean, there aren't very many engine mods for Railroader out yet, are there? Like, there's the A12, there's the F7s. Those are the only two I'm personally aware of. I know there are some that are in production, like the Canadian Pacific Hudson, there is the Virginian AE, there's the RS3s that are in production, but mod making takes some time, so I'm not surprised by that. No, I really want a Blizzard. Man, don't tempt me. No, how dare you. Now I'm hungry. Local hatcheries are fun to visit. They are always so nice there and usually let kids feed the fish. It's been so many years since I've gone there, but I remember I had a good time when I went to the hatcheries. But that was like in middle school or something. 2016 at the late. No, it wouldn't have even been 2016. 2015 at the latest. So it's been a hot minute. Maybe I should go out and visit one. Support my friend a little bit. Did you read me? Connor, sometimes it takes me a while to get through all the chat messages, and sometimes I don't read all of them because, you know, there's a lot of things in chat. So just be patient. I'll get to those things eventually. Planning on going into woodworking. If I have to sacrifice a few fingers to a circular saw to have a stable job in this economy, so be it! Don't worry, I'll just sacrifice a few pinkies. In fact, I won't sacrifice my entire pinky all at once, I'll just sacrifice like half of it. And then a quarter, then the other quarter, and then we'll start on the second pinky and slowly whittle our way down. Oh god, that hurts my fingers to say out loud. What you need to do is temporarily become a professional diamond thief and rob several museums, sell the diamonds on the black market, buy a boat out in the ocean. Oh man, could you imagine that? How seasick would you be when you finally return to land? Are they made from real otter? Man, could you imagine what kind of PR disaster it would be if actual otter pops were made from real otters? How many kids would be scarred for life? There's an FEC 462 up for sale on Ozark Mountain rail car. There is. From what I heard, it's like about 1.5 to 2.2 million. So hey, if you ever wanted to buy a steam locomotive, there's your chance. It's actually in good cosmetic condition, no less. I hope one day we get one of those weird Boston and Albany 266Ts. Commuter tanks are wacky. 266Ts? I know the Boston and Albany 466Ts, but I don't know about the 266Ts. You mixing up the numbers, maybe? Or was there actually a 266T? It'd be really funny to get a 466T, but not a Hudson. Just to really irk some people. There's a few in development, but as far as I know, the only popular railroader mods are the F7s and little A10s. I think you mean A12, speaking of more numbers that are incorrect. Tender swap mod 2, if you want to count that. I don't think I'd count that because it's really only, like, changing part of the appearance of a locomotive. You know? Close, but not quite there. There's not even an FEC Pacific design in this game as the viable locomotive. Well, I mean, if they added every locomotive design in the world, the buy menu would get kind of overwhelming. So yeah, I'm not too surprised that they've excluded some locomotives that would be fun additions to the game. I remember now years in New Year's, sorry, not now years. What's your now year's resolution, everybody? I cried because I didn't understand how the calendar worked, and I was really sad that it wasn't going to be 2015 again. I was a really stupid child. No, that's one hell of a thing to be depressed about moving on from, which is the calendar year. Wow, this is a gorgeous bookshelf. It has such a deep stain to it. What did you use? Castor oil? Nope. Human blood. My blood? Oh. You know, that's the real reason you go out to a blood donation place and give blood. It is specifically so that people can use it to stain their bookshelves and make it look pretty. Somehow the Island of Sorter is in the Against the Tide Discord channel with the world building and Against the Tide. Thomas the Tank Engine AU. I've heard weirder. I've heard about that one, what was it, Fallout? Alternate universe? Where Thomas the Tank Engine was a pivotal character in, or whatever. That was a fun little world to to see. Don't forget to, I forget to mention that you should not forget to like and subscribe. So thank you for pointing that out. Yes, don't forget to like and subscribe, folks. Don't forget to do the classic and typical engagement statistics that every YouTuber asks you to do. Heyo, Davids, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. And hey, Wes, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to, we just started all the switching work for the day, and we only just got to Alarka. I won't be happy until this game adds my 488-884. Now, what we really need is that 4884 that the Denver and Rio Grande Western was wanting to build. That's what we need. We need narrow gauge 4884. But it specifically runs on standard gauge tracks and looks absolutely atrocious while doing so. Forget to like and subscribe. Listen to Lightning instead of Content Monkey. That's right. Abstain from liking and subscribing, and that way you'll never see my content again. I'll be joining soon. You better give me that Mikado when I come. Hey, it's the new engine. It's the exciting new locomotive. You really think I'm going to abandon that? We want to have this on the forefront of the live stream. Hey, Connor, asking whether or not I read your message just kind of seems entitled. I'm gonna be honest. I get around to reading messages when I can, and I was about to read your message, but honestly I kind of feel like I shouldn't just because it feels pushy that you're specifically asking me, hey, did you read me? Please, have patience. I just want the Virginian AE mod done. That was gonna be really fun and funny to do. That thing's gonna look so badass running up red marble hauling like a 40-car train. We need a 422 plus 224 Garrett. Imagine a 422 plus 244 Garrett, though. It would be terrible. I would love that. And you know what? While we probably can't build that for standard, actually, we probably could build it for standard gauge. There are some, aren't there some people? Are there some like British organizations that are designed for building new locomotives? Admittedly, they're mostly building them off of plans that already existed, but can you imagine if they actually went out of their way to design a 422 plus 224? I keep saying 244 because I'm used to the 40s. Plus 224, Garrett. Just for standard gauge mainline excursions. I'm half tempted to have someone hire somebody to mod in the extra curse 6776 plus 0440G. What? What kind of monorail nonsense is this? I just spawned in the brown cab of the 440. Hey, she's less brown than she was before. But oh yeah, you weren't here when she had the head-on collision. Yeah, she's slightly dead. Oh, I need to... I was watching what had happened. I need to edit the clip of what had happened. I have such a huge backlog of random stream moments that I've clipped that I haven't bothered actually editing. I need to get around to modifying that stuff, man. I had non-stream moments. Yeah, I got a couple of non-stream moments I gotta modify too. There's actually a 442 plus 244 Garrett IRL. It had 4 cylinders on each driving side. That I can see. That I could imagine. But like, specifically a 422 plus 244 Garrett. Not only does it not have any, it not only does it not have very many driving wheels, but it's also, hey, what's the term? Not asynchronous, asymmetrical. Just to make the nightmare so much worse. Oh, hold on, that's not the right way for the switch to be set. Oops. Not a monorail, just extra cursed. 14 cylinders because everything's Vulcan compound. 5 throttles, one of which controls the change and set under the tender. What? Have you posted this on the Discord somewhere, TK? How have I missed this abomination of God? I'm back home from a little station to my splat brain. I can't words. Little visit to my local station. Found a different unit than normal. A 450 than the normal 444. I assume that's like an EMU or a DMU or something like that. What did I arrive to? Don't worry about it. Tech on. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. We go even worse. Share Garrett. Any locomotives available? I think nobody's doing the switch job over in Whittier. The SW1's available, number 14. And I'm sorry I'm kidnapping the Mikado today. Next week I won't be using the Mikado, though. I think the passenger train isn't occupied. It isn't. If you want to, you can either do the switch job in Whittier, or you can do the mainline run with the passenger train. Pick your poison. My poison is eternal Bryson shunting. Man, one of these days we'll actually get the mod for West Bryson Industries and just have the largest mainline haul between Bryson and Silva. That hitch scared me. I thought it was my game, and I was wondering what hitched me at 45 miles an hour. That's right. One of us snuck up behind you. We secretly bought a G16. We didn't tell you. And we specifically snuck up behind your locomotive, derailed the entirety of your train, except for like the 2 box cars directly behind your engine, and hitched up to you with the G16. Hopefully I will not be on the passenger train today. Hey, if you do, just pin the blame on Nina for the head-on collision. That would be awesome for a long haul. Exactly. In fact, it might be so awesome for a long haul that we might be able to go out of our way and have 2 runs per day, like split the train between Bryson and Silva in half. That could be fun. Heyo, Bernie. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. I know it would be hilarious in this game. A tiny British private shunter like a Peckett W4040. Now we'll get Percy from Thomas the Tank Engine, or we'll get the flying buffer beam. That's what we'll get. And specifically make it so the couplers are modeled as British couplers, but they still work with the American couplers. Sandy Hook Proving Grounds 240. She was absolutely minuscule, and I love her. Either her or the New York Sea Beach 240 PT. I'm going to have to look those up real quick. Hold on. Sandy Hook. Specifically have to specify Proving Grounds. which kind of sounds terrible considering certain context from a couple of years back, but 240. Okay, there we go. Okay, good. Google didn't. Oh, that would be so fun to have in game. that, that looks like Phil Swift came along and sawed the 440 in half. What the heck? Add Stephenson's rocket to Railrunner. Yes, it'll pull one boxcar, and it won't pull it up any grade. Game needs a Camelback. Love those engines. A Camelback would be a nice addition just for a little bit of variety. I know they probably wouldn't be the most realistic things to have, just because, you know, the ban on Camelbacks that they eventually instilled, but it's just a game, you know? You could add that in. It wouldn't be too unrealistic to see them in this time period. Or I should say, too unbelievable. That'd be a nice little diversity addition. Camelback Shay. That was proposed? Wait, what? Oh, that seems like a terrible idea. I love it. The ban was more of a you can't build more of them. Yeah, exactly. That's what I figured. Like, they would have been slowly phased out, but they still totally could have existed around this point in time, you know? What exactly was the issue with the Camelback? I don't know all the issues, but I do know one of them was driver comfort, because you're sitting on top of the boiler. You're sitting on top of the very hot steam building machine. And the fireman, you know, he basically just had a little canopy over his head. He didn't even have an actual cab to sit in. You could just get split knuckles and put a pin in the British engine's chain. Yeah, let's get a Janny coupler real quick. I mean, that would work. Be like that one American excursion railroad that had a British locomotive that they ran. 90% of the engines in this game aren't exactly true to this Murphy branch line, which is okay because it's a game. Exactly. We're allowed to have fun. I think they're mostly believable for time period, but even then a couple of Camelbacks would totally fit here, you know? With that sort of mindset. C&J had a massive 480 Camelbacks and the Erie had oh yes, I remember the 0880 Camelbacks, those behemoths. People were afraid of one throw. Oh god, yeah. I can see why people would be afraid of that. Like, the straightest comparison I could think of is it'd be like a plane crash. It's extremely unlikely to happen, but if it does happen, you are so screwed. You would just be pulverized in the cab. Hey, anybody want a bloody engineer smoothie real quick? Let's post the Camelback Shay in the Discord. You know, Okay, that looks way less cursed than I thought it would. Huh. I don't know, that feels actually kind of reasonable. Dare I say it? Also, you'd have less of a problem with the idea of people being afraid of the pistons getting thrown into the cab or whatever, because the drive rods are in a completely different configuration than your standard locomotives. Alright, brakes. Send her back. Also, hold on, I forgot to I saw the message about browning cars. I need to... Oh, those don't look too brown. Those don't look bad. You're doing alright. What we really need in Raritor is a Seaboard Airline 210-2 that has fucking Marshall gear, valve gear, the same valve gear that most British 2-foot gauge 042s used. What? That is an experience, to say the least. Only new, more modern type locomotive that I wouldn't mind in the game is an SD45 HSH high short hood, given Southern owned this line at one point. I feel like if we were going to get an SD locomotive, it'd be a little more likely that we'd grab we would see a like an SD24 at the latest. I don't know, SD45 feels a little too far in the future for the time period this game is going for. I could see that being a sort of modded thing, though. Like a... It'd actually be kind of cool if there was a modern era overhaul mod that went more for like 1970s era rolling stock and locomotives or something like that. That could be cool. Chugging up the grade now, good luck. You shouldn't be too bad. The T22 isn't much weaker than the A23, but it is weaker, so you might have a little bit of struggle in going up the 2%. We brown our cars like we brown our beefy. So, Nina, are you telling me that after the head-on collision, the pitch black that those, the pitch black that the head-on collision caused, that's what you like your beef looking like? Anything alco like the... Sorry, brain. Anything Alco I'm for, like RS1 or RS3, I'm 100% on board for. There's an RS3 mod currently in development. There was a teaser for it pretty recently where they showed a triple header of 3 RS3s back-to-back. That's one of the mods that I'm actually kind of excited for. And I'm probably going to get when it comes out, because I love the way those look. Those are prime short-line railroad diesels. Hear about the GP35 mod in development? I have not, no. I mean, Mudge, most of my news comes through you about mods, I won't lie. So... Can I drop off all passengers at Alarka Junction from the Alarka branch line and they transfer to the station? Or do I have to take them all the way to the end of the line? You can transfer them, Nick. However, I would personally recommend to either one of two things. One, it is actually a little more money efficient to bring them all the way to the end of the line, because when they transfer, for some reason, they lose the distance that they've gone, and so they pay a little bit less. I don't know why, it's kind of stupid. But the main concern that you should be worried about when transferring from one train to another is how long the transfer is. Because if the transfer is immediate, you're not going to lose anybody from the passenger train. But if the transfer takes too long, people are going to leave the passenger station. So you got to be careful with that. We brown our cars like we brown our pants. Ashland Pacific. We brown our cars like we brown our beef. And we brown our beef like we brown our pants. That's one way to not get any customers. Oh, my person's right. They're still standing all the way over there. Was it a pic of the Sal 2102? Let me take a peek of that real quick. What the? I'm like, oh, I was expecting single piston stuff. This isn't single piston. No, it's not single piston, but what on earth is that? What are those linkages? Wish they would do the RSC-3. I'm still kind of fuzzy on this no 6-axle deal on the Murphy branch. The RS was massaged into the RSC for lighter axle loading for just such things as short lines. That is kind of weird that they have a no 6-axle diesel thing. Part of me wonders if they just have that in place because they don't want to add too many diesels to the game, because this is a more Steam-oriented game, all things considered. And so it might just be a sort of blanket statement for we're not adding bigger diesels because we'd rather have people focus on Steam. But why can't we just have an RS3? The number one is dead. Who browned her? An entire The Heavy is Dead reenactment, but it only uses locomotives that you can find in Railroader. So one train from Whittier to Alarka and another from Whittier to Nantahala. Personally, I think you just want to make sure that you're able to transfer passengers at Alarka Junction if you want to do the passenger transfer. Because you can totally do the passenger transfer. It's not that hard. You just have to make sure that your passenger trains meet at the station around the same time to have less risk of losing passengers by taking too long. It's the last few streams. It's nice to chill and be with one again. Yeah, we call these chat and chill for a reason. Main mod I'm excited for, the Chinese SY and the custom... Ooh, there's a customizable F7's one? Ooh. You know, it'd be a great cross-promotion, the S282 from Zero Valley. That could be a really cool mod cross-promotion. So I feel like it might be a little bit out of place in the actual game itself. The Alaska Railroad had an RSC-1, I think, and they put a PA body shell on it to make it streamlined. What? Excuse me? Why wouldn't you just buy a PA at that point? Why go out of your way to buy the RSC-1 and then the PA? They called it the RF-1 and it was glorious. Alright, hold on. Railroad RF1. I don't know why. But that really looks like something you'd see as an amusement park ride. One of those trains that looks vaguely like a train, but you can tell that something's slightly off about it. Oh my god. Recently I brought my switcher at Bryson, number 5, the S20F3, and one of the cars got so badly damaged, it was at 19, Jesus. Almost near the condition when 6 nearly totaled herself at Whittier that one time. Now the question is, did you put the car that was at 19% into the sheds for repair, or did you just immediately deliver it anyways? So a guaranteed connection, exactly, Nick, exactly. A guaranteed connection would be the best way of doing it. Unless you want to run from Whittier to Alarka, really that's up to you. You could also maybe do it where you have the guaranteed connection in Bryson instead, and have like a mixed passenger train. Have mixed freight that goes between Bryson and Alarka, and like maybe does the Pulpwood spur at Hemingway if you like doing that, or if you do Pulpwood, period. Just have a passenger car or two slapped on the back, have that come up the hill, and that way when it's at Bryson, the passenger cars can sit there while the train is being disassembled, the freight part is being disassembled or being assembled. And then when the next passenger train comes, you can just unload the passenger cars. Rolling Lines doing a cross promotion with Trans-Siberian Railway Sim. Ooh. That's an interesting little crossover event. Looks like it's got a long nose that got pooped. Yeah, God got the fly swatter when he started designing this locomotive. Given the time period that this game is modeled off of, a nice working scale test car would be something that would be definitely on this line. A mod for some maintenance away cars could be fun. Heyo Smokey, heyo Ginger, welcome to the stream, welcome to the stream. Man, we've been going for an hour and a half and we're only now getting to the point where we can actually climb the hill to the Alarka Copper Company. This is gonna be fun. Also, I should probably get the passenger car out of the way, because yeah, engine number 2's left Cochrane already. I should absolutely get the passenger car out of the passenger station. Alright, hit the brakes. Back her up. You know what? I'm gonna be a little crazy today, and instead of sorting all these cars out for their destinations and putting them on certain sides of the engine, I'm just gonna push them up the hill and reap what I have sown. If I suffer, I suffer, and that is my fault. 444s didn't have too much wheel slip, actually. The B&O one failed because of the boiler. The P&R ones failed because they built them wrong, so the rear trucks constantly caused issues. What the heck? Why are there so many handbrakes on this? Oh, wait, right. It's because I set them. I thought I would have set them on this car, though. I guess I misclicked. I must have misclicked. The Canadian ones were actually really successful and set Canadian speed records. Dang. We should go out of our way and build new ones that are even worse than the B&O and the P&R ones combined. The ultimate challenge. I walk away for 5 seconds to pet my dog and come back to hearing, "This is gonna be fun," followed by a suspicious laugh. Isn't that just normal for my streams, TK? Every time I hear guaranteed connection, I can only think of a Thomas YouTube poop where Daisy said, "He's a guaranteed," words that starts with E and rhymes with connection. Thomas the Tank Engine, but it's just an episode all about the birds and the bees. You see, Thomas, the man pulls out his injector. Oh, goodness. Oh, wait, hold on. Wrong track. Oh, that's a passenger train right there. I got speed run. Got a lot of railroader fans on stream, but how well do you know American railroading? Depends on the railroad. Sometimes I pick up on a lot of random, useless information. Sometimes I'll pick up on actually useful information. Sometimes I won't pick up on anything. Depends on the day. It depends on the railroad. Look at me obsessing with the Lapeer Industrial Railroad. Long story short, don't try to do a water tube firebox if you're not Hungarian. Trust me, the Hungarians made the best water tube fireboxes, even if they were insanely successful. And also, don't try and jam a freight car truck behind an Atlantic and call it a 444. That's right, call it a 4424. Make it worse in every way possible. Hope later on I can start in Alarka. I would love to start the railroad from the branch. That could be kind of cool if you like started in Alarka to Alarka Junction. That could be a fun little mod, because I know there's the Alarka Junction, whatchamacallit. There's a mod that turns Alarka Junction into an interchange. Could be a fun little challenge. I might have browned a teeny bit. Hey, you're not that bad. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, 89% on the engine. That's it. That's all. Gotta be careful going around curves, man. Alarka to Alarka Junction, Banera. That could actually be really cool for like a model railroad. And maybe if Cochrane had like a small team track to serve. Could also be fun as like a dual gauge mod of some sort. Alright, let's shove it up the hill. No worries about the late arrival, Roberto. Everybody, you know, we all sometimes have our other obligations that we focus on. Sometimes it's important. Sometimes somebody's having their liver removed by Mario himself. Sometimes it's just, hey, I want to play a different video game today. No worries about that. But hello, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. There was a Mexican 2-foot gauge railroad that had curves that were so tight they had to get their shays made left-handed so the mechanism didn't get permanently jammed on every corner. What? Man, narrow gauge jank is so special. Alarka to Alarka 2-foot gauge, and it's only Sandy River and Ragley Lakes 044s and the Mount Gretna 440s. Recently, I've been learning about the Mount Gretna. That railroad is so much fun. So simple, so goofy, yet so great. I love it. A dual gauge mod would be sick. It would be sick, but I'm really curious. How the heck would it work? How the heck would a dual gauge railroad... How would you do the interchange from standard gauge to narrow gauge? And would there be like an option to make it so that like you don't run the standard gauge at all and you only run the narrow gauge? Could be interesting. You know of the Mount Gretna? Yeah, I was looking up the, I was trying to find the prototype for the Owen 3440 because there was one at a really good price that I bid on. I did not win it, but I tried. And I scoured really hard because I knew that I could find some prototypes. I found the prototype for the articulated. I found the prototype for the 280, or at least a potential prototype for the Bachmann 280. Not entirely sure. So I decided to try it with the 440, and the closest match that kept showing up was the Mount Gretna 440s. It's based off a Brazilian one. That's interesting. Every place I saw was like, oh yeah, it's the Mount Gretna. 1000% just the Mount Gretna. 280 is a Mexican 280. Exactly. I think there's a preserved example, or it's not actually a preserved example, but a similar one, because the valve gear is apparently different. But there's a similar preserved example in Montana that is currently not in operation because the state owns it, and the state refuses to give it proper maintenance or something like that, and is just being a little money grubbing about it, and so it's been out of service for like 10 years. Really make it 3-foot narrow gauge, and you can make steeper curves and grades. Or you could have a transfer wagon. Transfer wagons would be hilarious. Get standard gauge car to a narrow gauge one with rails on it. That's right. Pull off the boxcar thing that they did on the East Broad Top back in the day. Brazilian loco is still around, but it's been painted bright green. Ooh, hold on. Oh, that is a beautiful paint job on it, though. I don't know, that seems classy to me. I love the way that looks. God, that's gorgeous. I have a bad feeling that I'm gonna brown this observation car. Well, don't worry, there's only 25 people in the observation car. There's less people to injure. And so there's less liability for us. As the local, the Owen 3440. No, oh, you're talking about outside frame 440. I was talking about the inside frame 440. Because the inside frame one is the one where I kept finding, oh yeah, it's the Mount Gretna locomotive. I haven't looked up the outside frame one yet. I'm just gonna stare at this. Oh no, what happened? What derailments and pain have occurred? Oh no. Well, but it looks like we might not be running with an observation car for a while. Lamau. There's no real difference other than the frames being outside or inside the wheels. No, those engines look very different when you actually take a peek at them. The outside frame boiler rides way lower, and the inside frame boiler also has that, what's it called, wagon top? I don't remember, but it has that slight slant in the middle of the boiler. I'm sure there's more other things I could point out, but I don't know them all off the top of my head because I haven't really compared these engines in a hot minute, but... I only have an outside frame 440s. Yeah, I only have an outside frame 4402, but I have very much considered this and looked in. I'm like, what's the prototype? Because I was going insane trying to find it. I'm like, well, I'll just look up the outside frame because I have all the details on that. Well, okay, I didn't have all the details on it at the time, but I'm like, oh, well, I'll figure that one out. Figured it out. Realized that I was wrong. Went on a rampage. And somehow stumbled onto the Mount Gretna. Mount Gretna is a fun line, though, to, like, model. Because A, excursion railroad that is not a modern-day excursion railroad, and B, guns. You've heard the UPS slogan, "What can Brown do for you?" But have you heard a train applier slogan, "What can you, Brown?" No, that's not train applier slogan. That's our slogan here on the channel. What can you, Brown? What can you absolutely decimate? At least we know the outside frame engine is Brazilian now. And at least we know that the outside frame's actual paint job is extremely colorful, but in a cool way. I love the way that engine looks. That thing is pretty. I'm so disappointed. I don't know why I'm so safe on my railroad, but when I'm on this railroad, I crash everything. Maybe Lucifer chose me to crash everything today. See, I'm telling you, we've been cursed. Because it's not just you, Trade Applier. When on the streams you were gone, first it was Nina, and then it was me. We just one by one went through dying by derailment. Hello, sheep. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. I did not read outside. OF is outside frame at first. What did you read it as? Other family? Only frames? It's a subscription service where they go out and they take pictures of locomotives, steam locomotives that are technically preserved, or like their frames are around, but they're separated, you know? It's just... no boilers, no wheels, it's just the frames of locomotives, and you pay like $50 a month to see them. Somebody get on this. We need to monopolize the only frame scene. ZF and G safety remaining remains at 0. I'm lucky. I thought we were totally going to tank the score and go down to like 50%, but we're only at 97. We're not doing that bad. Speaking of not doing that bad, pay. Only 19,000 left to go. Well, let's go. A new daily report is available. How's our money looking? Our we lost $6,684 today. Let's go. We gained a lot of money in freight, a lot of money in passenger, but we spent so much of it buying this one new locomotive. Listen, you know that exists somewhere on the internet. Oh, I know, I know. I'm well aware that if it exists, there is a non-exempt Rule 34 edition. Welcome to the internet. Have a look around. Anything that brain of yours can think of can be found. Imagine simping for a frame or some forgotten Berkshire or something. My queen, I will repair you, continues to send money to to buy the locomotive and repair it. Gonna put the coaches in the shop. Alright, I'd recommend Trainoplier putting him in the Bryson shop in particular. We have a lot of... We have 10 crews working the Bryson shop, so... Also, hold on, did I... Is the boxcar up here emptied? Oh... Well, looks like I'm gonna have to go up the hill again. Oops. Probably simping northward. I almost completely mispronounced that. Norfolk and Western Y6B. Twice the pistons. Twice the fun. Alright, hit the brakes. Drop these suckers. Repay another $1,000 on the loan. I have a question. Is it better to have a small loco with a big tender or a big loco with a small tender? I think a small loco with big tender, like on one hand you're going to have some trouble with hills, but on the other hand, water towers? What are those? Prime examples are the PRR 440 with a coast to coast, and an Illinois Central with an 060 with a tender as small as Montezuma's. As short as Montezuma's too, or just as small? Could you imagine having a narrow gauge height tender on a standard gauge locomotive? Put the Montezuma tender on a Santa Fe. Underneath the coal bed of all the Southern Pacific liveries, I'm making it where the text is only visible when you run out of coal, and it's going to say, "Can't roll on much more, can ya?" The Illinois Central tender was very tall for its length. Aw, that's disappointing. How do they make it actually mildly functional? Close. Air brakes are applied so I can release the handbrakes on both of these. Flip the switch. Imagine a ginormous steam turbine with a teensy-weensy tender. Imagine a steam turbine. Imagine the 686 with a four-wheel tender. What's this industry? This is the... hold on, actually. I just realized I should do something slightly different. This is Alarka Copper Coal Company Mine Number 1. Dude, these mines would be so perfect for narrow gauge, though. Like, imagine a Colorado and Southern mogul coming up this hill. Spotting a couple of tiny, smaller freight cars. Donk. Railroad Gilpin Tramway Edition, exactly! If I could reverse time, I would not expand to Alarka. I mean, what you can do, Roberto, is you can cancel all your contracts and stop serving the passenger station there. Because after 10 in-game days, the game will stop considering this station as active on your railroad, and obviously you'll have no contracts there. Maybe occasionally you'll have to go up here with a single, like, car for the house track, but I don't think the game does that unless you have actual industry service and passenger service in the area. Oh, hold on. Nope. Whew! I almost just blocked that too hard. Oh my god. Wait, that's not an 060. That's an 010. Oh, wait a minute. What is that tiny Vanderbilt? What the heck? Oh, that's glorious. I hate it. Or 282 locomotives with tiny 2-axle tenders. God. One of these days I'll make a locomotive with a, I'll make an 0-30 engine with a 2-axle tender. Make everybody suffer, make it somebody else's problem. There's also the console command to revert progression. I can't remember the syntax right now, but something on the Discord should fight it. Alternatively, if you don't want to have to do that in particular, What you can end up doing is instead slash mode sandbox. I'm gonna just quickly demonstrate this. I'll change back to not sandbox in a moment. Go to the settings tab, map features, sorry, map features, and you can select what you want unlocked, and you can just unselect the ones you don't want. And then all you need to do is mode company. And then you'll never have to serve there again. Found the right image this time. Oh my, that's even worse than the O10O. What the heck? What is that tender? What? Did they just take a freight truck? What the hell? What is... Oh my goodness. Well, that's certainly a model. That's certainly an engine. Oh my god. That's glorious. I hate it. the height of that coal bunker. God. That's so dumb, I love it. It's now 10 p.m. and I'm still awake because I want chip. I eat chip in bowl and watch these shenanigans. Very pleasant evening. Chip and chill. It's no longer chat and chill, boys. It is now chip and chill. I don't know. After that derailment, I feel like I'm bummed out of the passenger train. That's entirely fair, honestly. Having that sort of damage can definitely hurt. It's 11 p.m. here, no school tomorrow. Hey, nice. Want to do logs train player? Yeah, you want to try logs instead? Something other than the passenger service to get your mind off it. It might be a little bit hard to do because of the 15-mile-an-hour speed limit, but it's just logs. Want to eat a bun and salami. Man, now you're making me hungry. How dare you? Rivera's in lineup with the Zuma tender behind the Glenbrook and Mosca for funny reasons. If only we had Deadwood Central 6. Imagine Ruby Basin of the Tweetsy had a kid, but with a Zuma tender? I think I've heard of this before somehow. I've actually seen... Do any of you guys know the website Narrow Gauge Off the Beaten Path? There's this one really fun... I think it's a 440. Actually, wait, no, I didn't see it off Narrow Gauge Off the Beaten Path. Never mind. Sorry, it was just a 440 that existed. I think I saw it on the ON30 kit bashing page. But there was this really cute 440 that had a four-wheel tender. If it weren't for the fact that I was strapped for cash, I would build so many locomotives for fun. Same. We're all that way. We're all the way of, hey, I want money to do the cool things, but I don't have money, so I can't. And right now I'm especially strapped for cash because I've had to order the buildings for the layout because I'm not going to be ordering all the buildings, but I'm going to be starting work on the river scene, the mine scene, and the mountain scene. And also, I might have also spent a lot of money buying a decoder for number 21 finally. Speaking of number 21, we've actually had some issues with her recently. Her drivers have been really screwed up for some reason, and so we're actually going to be replacing her drivers with a different one. With a different set. Gotta head out and make dinner. I'll be back around after I'm done. Alright, take care, Mudge. Take care. See you in a bit. Anything with 8 drivers can do the L coal drags? Except for the K28T. Oh, absolutely. K28T, great engine for doing small runs between, like, maybe 1 or 2 towns, or, more specifically, running short hauls and doing switch jobs, but aside from that, not so good. That water capacity is a huge issue if you're trying to go from, like, Silva to Bryson. Keep thinking it's like 5 p.m. over across the pond, but it's 2 p.m. and we are at 10 p.m. Gotta love them time zones. I've gotten super used to it, because, on my phone, because my girlfriend happens to live in Europe, I have her time zone just permanently on my phone, and my time zone at the same time. Am I normal? No. Is it fun? Yes. Is it also a nice way to make sure I know what time it is for her? Absolutely. Especially when daylight savings time happens and stupid BS occurs. Alright. Park him there. Actually heading off to Europe tomorrow for a school trip. The time change is really going to throw me off. Yeah, good luck with that. It'll be a walk in the park. You'll be fine. Yeah, no, good luck, man. You're going to need it. Adjusting to the 10+ hour difference. Okay, maybe not 10+. Maybe it's only like 7 or 5 hours, but still depends on the place. Good luck. Speaking of time zones and time, Chip is gone. Shenanigans shall come to a sleeping halt. Go shall go sleep. Go shall go sleep. Sleep well, man. Take care, T14. See you around. I love how we're climbing this hill just to grab a single boxcar. Because I wasn't paying attention for like 2 minutes. How much money do we have right now? $405 again? Damn. To be honest, not gonna lie, only one of the logging Mikados has actually been used for logging. I know, right? They say it's a logging Mikado, but everybody I see who uses it as a mainline engine. I think that's probably because the log runs actually don't require too strong of a locomotive, all things considered. And so when people are looking to buy stronger engines and they buy this, instead of putting it on the logging runs, well, it's the strongest engine on the railroad at the time, so they're going to put it on the main line, and then it just stays in the main line for a long time. Finish up the main loco part of the 2472 mod. Gonna do the gauges next. Hopefully gonna have it completed by Tuesday. Good luck. Good luck. What's the gauges issue, though? Are you wait, are you talking about track gauge, or are you talking about, are you talking about the gauges like the little, things in the cab? Well, let me change the track gauge that this game totally supports. Starter 460, my logging engine. She can handle the 12-car log runs without breaking a sweat. She's our logging engine, or she was on the bigger save. I think I just bonked a little. Oh, I didn't bonk too hard. Let's go. Because we wound up using our G16 or our T17 for, I think on the original save we had the G16 was in Whittier and did log runs up to Connolly, and the T17 one is in Alarka and it would do the copper mine runs we're doing right now. Everyone uses the K35 for freight, meanwhile everyone uses the K28T for logging. The K28T is very good for logging, and like prior to the game's release, most of the footage with the K28T was it running on the Walker branch in particular. Logging just means shorter, rigid wheelbase, lower drivers, and you can abuse it like you're Yeltsin and his vodka. Okay, for some reason, now I'm just imagining somebody pulling out a belt and smacking the living daylights out of a bottle of vodka. Probably going to get a K28T for logging once I reassign the starter engines to Alarka. Honestly, this Alarka branch can be a bit of a headache to do with the starter engines, just because of how much stuff, tier 5 at the very least. You know, we were carrying up 11 cars. I mean, admittedly, all the cars were empty carrying them uphill, but we were still carrying 11 cars up a 3% grade. So the starter engines can actually struggle in this area. Then again, they probably also struggle in Walker, now that I think about it. Actually, it could be really fun to have it that as you retire locomotives, you send them off to the Alarka branch and, like, make it its own railroad. That'd be interesting. Oh, little side note. Hey, if anybody wants to get into ON30 and specifically wants a porter and they want it to be bright and colorful, there's one on eBay that has 0 bids. It's like $130. Not DCC, unfortunately, but like, hey, if you want a porter that's black, green, and red, go for it. Might just grab an A12 for logging for the hell of it. Oh god. Good luck with that, GP30. Good luck. You're going to need it. What wheel arrangement would you want to see for next? For me, a 420, specifically because one Norris 420 and a light built in like 1837 lasted until 1940? Excuse me? What? I think if I had to choose a wheel arrangement, I'd probably go for... I think a 2662 would actually be kind of fun. Because a 2662 would actually be around the same power as a B65 or a C55, sort of in this range. It would help to bridge the gap a little bit. That would make for... And hey, we'd have an articulated. That'd always be cool. 2442. A 2442 would be fun, but it would also be a little closer to like the just C25, G25. We've got a lot of engine saturation of locomotive power around here. Then again, we've already got a saturation of locomotive power around here. Maybe it'd be better to have an engine that's sort of like in the 35,000 pounds attractive effort range, just to bridge the gap a little better here, because there's a much bigger gap in that area. What would be a good wheel arrangement for that? Let's get a 264, everybody. That would be an excellent decision. 6446. Ah yes, let's grab the Pennsylvania S1, everybody. Just what we needed. It's actually a 2442 mod in the works based on Skookum. Ooh, nice, nice. The Lionel Lines Adriatic. No, we gotta go for the Lionel Lines Colombian. Alright, and bunk. Actually, what would be one engine that I think would be really fun to add is Howard City Terminal Number 8. Now, I know it's not a steam locomotive, but it would make for a very funny little diesel to throw into the game. Hello, Locke. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. We're just running to Alarka, doing some Alarka stuff. Also being an idiot and forgetting to grab the two tankers here that I need to grab. Oops. Alright, park the train, hit the brake. I think I'll refill on water first. Refill on water and coal, top up. We're a little bit around halfway down, might as well, just for safety's sake. Prefer diesel over steam in Derail Valley. Oh, of course, me too. It's so much easier to run. But in this game, I like steam just because, you know, it's not harder to run. And steam engines look cooler. Still, I think that adding Howard City Terminal number 8 would be funny, because Howard City Terminal number 8 was a narrow gauge locomotive converted to standard gauge. I don't think it was converted during the time period of this game, but it would still be funny. And it's just a four-wheeled critter that can barely, like, haul 4 cars at a time. What about a GE 20 or 23 tonner? That could be kind of fun and funny. Get one of those tiny little switching diesels. Then again, I also think it would be nice to have a mod for the game that actually nerfs diesels to their appropriate power ratings. Or maybe, or there's something that feels more appropriate, even if not actively accurate. One engine I think would be funny to have in the game would be the DNRGW01, a 280 tank engine shop switcher. I don't know that one, actually. Hold on. Google. I don't want shopping. I want images. It's not showing up. At all. It's just not there. It doesn't exist. Oh, I see that. I see it in chat. What the heck? Oh, is this a conversion? They took a standard locomotive and turned it, a tender engine, and turned it into a Steam engines need to be nerfed too. I noticed your TE doesn't change at lower cutoff, just water consumption and acceleration. I'm more so thinking about the fact that, like, a diesel locomotive wouldn't, like a GP9 would normally take, it would take about 2 GP9s to really match the power of a Berkshire. I can recognize that there might be some physics issues with the game and whatnot, but I'm more just concerned about them being too strong. Makes me think of the Mexican 440 ST. Makes me think of that one 262T that somebody made in ON30 out of a Colorado and Southern Mogul. Don't know, I just really like the K35 for some reason. Personally, I'm more of a fan of the C46. Mostly because of the jank tender this engine has, where it's so small compared to the locomotive. It just feels out of proportion, but I do like the look of the K35. Oh my god, what is that 440? What the heck? Oh, that's so stupid. I love it. Wow. Now that's an engine to model. I prefer steam in Deero Valley because for me, when I'm driving a diesel, it's like, all right, we're gonna open the throttle and I'm gonna go make dinner. By the time I'm done, we'll be at the steel mill. For me, I'm not at that point in the game where I know the engine's well enough to actually pull off something like that. I would totally burn out the motor and overspeed. What about the Mexican Johnstone? It was basically a double Fairley, but with the cylinders and whatnot in the loco's frame instead of the bogies? What? How does that work? How the earth on heck? I'm exaggerating. I'm not that good at the video game. Don't worry. Me too, man. Me too. Alright, and... donk. Badoof. Link that up. Undo the handbrake. Passengers, we're just going straight to Whittier, so we might as well just make it, so... yeah, perfect, we got 66 people for Whittier, and we have 60 people who can board the car. Perfect. Just what the doctor ordered. K35 is stronger than what I thought it was. Hold on, I need to make sure I don't bonk too hard. One time it took a 28-car coal train, struggled a little bit, but got back on the rails eventually. No pun intended. Yeah, no, the K35, realistically... you can have some pretty long trains hauled by some pretty weak engines as long as they don't have to go up too steep of a grade. Like, we've been getting away with doing the Bryson and Ela cars, including the 15 logging cars, with just a G25 for the longest time. That's got almost a 1.5%, you know? Alright, and bonk. Set her to normal. Speaking of long trains and weak engines, my T21 finally got fixed and took over the eastbound from the G16 after she ran out of coal at Barker's. Grabbed the dead weight of the engine, just hauled it all the way there. Switch against? Oh, she's in Bryson. I see, I see. Hold on. Recently got an empty coal drag engine and a C46. Honestly, I'm kind of wondering if we should sell off the Santa Fe engine on this save and replace it with the C46. Or like a C55 or something. Get a little bit of a smaller engine. For the long coal drags. Alright, let's go. We're loaded. Full steam ahead. I really need to get the whistles mod. Basically now, one of my engines will stay the night in Bryson, and then in the morning they would go up and pick up the drag, and then we can just take a rest in Dillsboro. Oh, so basically what you have, Trader Player, is one engine per direction. So you have one engine that'll wait in Robinson overnight with the empty that gets loaded, and then you have the one other engine in Dillsboro that waits the night for the loaded to be empty. I'm cursing Nina. Look out. My evil plans to scrap all the locomotives. Another derailment? Calling in now, we got some more browned cars. Started on the dials and gauges, gonna Google 24s, 72s, boiler pressure real quick, so the pressure gauge can actually line up with what loco it's supposed to be. Gotta get that accuracy perfect. Oh, you derailed on the same place that I derailed a few streams back. I wasn't paying attention when we went 30 miles an hour down the grade. Yeah, you gotta be careful with that one. It's a nightmare. Fortunately, you can actually get away with like 25 miles an hour, but you gotta be careful with it when you hit that point. We at OSHA like to call this workplace complacency. Actually, I don't think that's an OSHA term, but I'm gonna say that it is anyways. Speaking of paying attention, where am I at? Okay, not quite at the 25-mile-an-hour curve yet. I'm fine. I'm doing okay. I'm safe. It's the name of the point of Browning. Now we'll call it Brown's Point or Widow's Curve. Widow's Curve. Weeping Widow. New tree type. I meant to shut off that. Oops. I was doing the speedrun challenge last week. I discovered that you can do 5 miles per hour over for pretty much most of the map without taking damage. I don't think it's 5 miles an hour over. I think it's more like... it's something closer to 2 to 3, but you will get away with 5 miles an hour over with a little bit less damage. Speaking of which, hey, if anybody's on the Discord and they haven't seen the announcement, we just have a little fun speedrun challenge going on where you have to take a train from Whittier to Alarka in the fastest time possible. Very casual, nothing too competitive, just a formal little fun thing. I need to finish that. I need to do it. I set it up and I haven't even submitted my own time for it. I really should. Also, a fun fact about that little fun challenge. I made sure to set it up so that the in-game day was day 69. Do we highball it or stop at the stations? Highball it, highball it. No station stops. It could be cool to do an alternate version where there are station stops. Nope, just all the way. No stopping, no slowing down. And you have to make it... it was me who had the idea. Yes, it was, exactly. You have to make it between the two stations with 90% or greater condition on all of your passenger cars and your locomotive. We're kind of lenient on proof of this right now because, you know, this is just a casual competition where we're supposed to have some fun, right? There's no actual stakes other than maybe bragging rights, but... we did... we do also like it if people can provide at least a screenshot or two. Bet I'll do it fast with only 2 to 3% damage. Good luck! Do not look at some of the conditions of the log cars. Do not. They are fine. We can repair them at Whittier. Do not. Now we'll just repair them at Bryson. It's what we did last time. It's actually... Train apply. The reason we have 10 people at Bryson is specifically because of me pulling this same thing off a few days ago. Should I put the speedometer in kph? Why not kmph? Why kph? Kids per hour? I just leave it in KPH personally, but if you want to do both, I wouldn't blame you. As a wise man said, if it ain't broke, you ain't looking at it right. Or alternatively, ain't broke if I don't see it. Cover his eyes. I don't know, I really haven't urge to drive that new Mikado today. Haven't urge. You sure you spelled what you were trying to say there right? I just need to look at my Mikado in my own save and I'll just forget about it. Or next week you'll be able to run it. I'm just running it today because I'm doing the Alarka branch. Also, hot damn, 50... Oh, we almost hit 50 miles an hour in this segment of track. What the heck? I actually want to make a joke daylight livery that says Southern Pacific on the tender, and the speedometer has no labeling other than most steam locos don't have speedometers, so F you. That would actually be really funny, just to have that normally. Oh, we did take a little bit of damage on the engine there, oops. Oh, I'm going way too fast for this curve. Hold the phone. Yeah, we were going nearly 40 on a 25-mile-an-hour curve there. We're good. We're safe. Notice something on Agri Ragtimer's Railroads that he keeps doing every week? What's he do? People are literally giving money so he adds locomotives, and half of them are so overkill. I remember I did that back when Railroader was first coming out. It was really funny. Some people donated a lot of money to try and make sure that we bought a specific type of locomotive for the railroad. They didn't even want to join and run trains. They just wanted the engine on the railroad. You literally had a P-43 and a Berkshire, and they haven't even been extended to Bryson? Wow. That's funny. The classic YouTuber syndrome. He's not even playing the game, it's literally just him begging for money so he can go into sandbox mode and literally get an engine. Nah, bro, you should at least do loans if you're gonna do something like that, and make it harder on yourself. Repay the loans over time, like me. Hit a $250,000 loan because you bought too many big engines, and then abandoned the save. This curve is the one I'm a little bit concerned about. Alright, back of the train's off the curve. Full steam ahead. That's why I really dislike going on his streams and seeing him just begging for money and for big, powerful engines. Honestly, that is entirely fair. It's always so annoying when a content creator tries to go... I know this is ironic coming from a content creator, but like, I personally find it so annoying when content creators are like, please support me, please, please, please. Obviously, you know, it's a part of the job. It sort of has to happen, but like, bro... There's a time and a place and an acceptable amount of requests for this. Stop for a switch lined against us. Oh, she's on the Whittier. Okay. I'm not gonna turn her around just yet. I'm just getting her out of the way of the main line so that I can continue. Wait a minute, hold on. Okay, she is moving. Phew! Thank God. Alright, we gotta slow down a little bit because this curve over here is a 40-mile-an-hour curve. And running over that at 50 would be a little bit of a problem. Curver Walker was set the opposite. I'm glad I was there because you would have gone flying off the... Oh, is it set up for the Walker branch and I forgot to check? Oops. Now that would have been a spectacular crash. Oh, it'll be a spectacular wreck, just shame nobody will be around to see it. Doc Brown, Back to the Future 3. I do love the dedication to the craft where they actually made a miniature live steam locomotive for that wreck. Nowadays, they'd just be lazy and they'd immediately go to CGI. Like, come on, man, do something special. Make an actual train blow up. Like, maybe not an actual train, but a model train blow up. Get like an HO scale steam engine, throw it off a cliff, and light a firecracker. I didn't blow for that last crossing. I probably just did a hit and run. Rip that guy. Alright, let's see. How fast can we make this go? We're currently doing 35. Can we hit like 60 between here and Ela? Is that something we can do? God, look at how much. Listen to how much steam we're putting in this sucker. Not gonna lie, my G16's days of Whittier are numbered. That engine, it does kind of suck that eventually the G16 stops being good for anything. So. A K28T would be perfect for that sort of area, both for doing Connolly Creek and also for working the sawmill. This is a nice small engine. Yep, 33. 33 we'll have to do. Took a little more damage, but only 1% on the locomotive. Who cares if you hit someone? You know your rights. You're at the throttle of your machine, and you're gonna make it everyone else's problem. Turn all the valves. Pull all the levers. Do what your heart tells you. The ultimate pep talk for getting somebody to murder someone else. Reminded me of the circus train from Madagascar 3, where they thermal throttle the boilers so much that it goes from 750 psi to 250 and back in less than 3 seconds. What? That's a, certainly a movie thing to do, huh? Alright, we're gonna have to start slowing down. We're coming up on the 30-mile-an-hour curve. Only 33 miles an hour? I feel like we could have gone faster around that bend. How steep's the grade over here? 0.6% and it's already this bad. Oi. Reinstalling Barrow for the third time today because one of my oh no, one of your mods broke all the things. No, that sucks. Gotta verify the integrity of those game files. We get brownie points for no damage? Of course you get brownie points for no damage. The better you do, the more brownie points you get. It's all you get, only brownie points, but... Just gonna talk more about the steam engine that I own. Manufactured in 1965. Geez, that's a while ago. Own one that's in good condition. It has a few scratches on its boiler, but who cares? It works. How big's the engine? The winner gets an actual brownie. Yeah, we're gonna give them a meth brownie, you know, one of those ones that has weed put in them. Tender swapped locos all gone, as well as the engine sheds at Whittier. Seems unrelated AF. I'm scared. Oh god, yeah, no, that sounds like a problem. A little bigger. Oh, so it's a pretty tiny little thing then. Dang. Responsible train driving. 60 of 60 passengers to Whittier. Let's go. Speaking of which, hold on. How's this looking? 185 miles of service. She's doing okay. How are our engines doing? Number 3. Hello. Equipment. 302 miles. How about this car? 9 miles. Never mind. How about number 4? 179. How about number 2? Sitting on 290. Ducking in for the evening. Alright, Nina, take care, man. Thanks for tuning in today. See you around, see you around. And get the speed run done, you goofus. Speaking of speedruns, I need to get the speedrun done, if anything. Was a picture of it all the that's a cute little tractor. It's only $1 in length or so. Are the rules or a premise for a speedrun of some competitive sort going? Not really extremely competitive, it was a casual competitive, you know, where we're all competing against each other, but there's no real stakes going on. But yeah, it's I posted a save file and some basic rules in the Discord in the announcements channel. Recently decided to get a stationary engine. I'll post another photo of it. Ooh. Alright, we're gonna park the train and uncouple the locomotive. Because what we're gonna need to do here, I think, is we're gonna need to shove our cars into the yard, so I might as well get around the freight while I can. Hasn't arrived yet, but I also decided to take a photo of the steamroller I have. Not the one I own for some reason. The computer for this PC is literally garbage, so I'm not going to use it for photos of the engine. Camera, I meant. It's clearly same thing. PC, camera. Alright, passenger. Load up literally everything except for Whittier. Actually, even Whittier. Let her rip. Forgive me, FRA. Freebird was playing. Launches the train to the other side of the moon. Laptop overheated in the middle of my run. Rip. So what do you get for not using your actual PC? Oh, that does remind me. Hey, chat. Question. I don't expect any of you to have an excellent answer for this, but does anybody know of any good I'm looking for a couple of PC peripherals, perhaps. Alliteration, let's go. I'm thinking of getting a 1080p webcam. Does anybody know a good one at a decent price? Preferably 60 FPS. Also, does anybody know if OBS would work on Linux? I assume it would, but I don't know for sure, and so I figure I might as well ask in case somebody else knows. Because with the streamathon coming up, somebody has mentioned the idea in passing that maybe we should have one of the streams be a model making stream. And I think that'd be fun. But I definitely need some new equipment for it. I have a 1080p camera that shoots in 60 FPS, 60 frames per semester. See, easy solution for that. Just use a profile picture and say, too bad, my camera sucks. That's what I did in college. Bonk. Let's just hit the train brake. Fill the whole dang thing with some air. Uncouple. Pull her back. Reminds me of, goes up to, I don't know, 88 millimeters per every time I find a proper job in today's economy. Friend recently got Roads Online and we've been playing it ever since. I haven't been playing as much Roads Online recently. Just hasn't been as fun, I guess, trying to... Because, like, the track building is a blast, but actually running the trains just doesn't feel as fun as it does in this game to me. I did play it actually a little bit earlier this month. Had somebody who hired me to make a custom map for him. Donk. I think it might be a programming issue with the DH4. I'm running at under tonnage and it's struggling more than when I run at over tonnage. Yeah, do you have a handbrake on, as Celestial points out? Because that could very well be the problem. Also, are you in rainy weather? that might also be an issue. Clear skies is also the fact that it was on that one really bad section of 2.2 out of the harbor. It's now working better than normal. See, there's your problem. Now we we found it out by not saying anything and just letting you finish running the train. I also do like watching Rangy Ragtimer's single player series, but like I said earlier, it's annoying that he begged people to give him money so he can get overkill engines. I totally understand that, man. You can enjoy things, you can enjoy some things that people do while not enjoying others. You don't gotta enjoy literally everything they do. What's your favorite class of engine in the game? I don't know. I kind of like a lot of different engines in this game. I like the 282, I like the C46, I like the G25, I like the G16. I kind of just like train. Alright, full send. You know, maybe I should have given us a little more time before it got dark out, because I'm actually... I'm getting kind of tired seeing the sun setting in-game. Thanks, game. Thanks, life. Thanks, brain. It also doesn't help that, you know, we've all got all the day's work done, basically. Like, the Alarka train's finished after I put her in the sheds here at Whittier, so... If you're too tired, I could take the K35. See, the K35's at a point, though, where it doesn't have anything else to do. Like, all the jobs in Whittier are done. Oh, we've already got engines to handle the jobs in Bryson, and Bryson is the only work that's left at this point. What's weird for me is that I don't really ever have a favorite locomotive, but the RMS Mauritania is always my favorite ship. Do not know how that works. Personally, for me, my favorite locomotive constantly fluctuates. Some days it's one engine, some days it's another, some days it's a third, a fourth, a fifth. It just happens to be whichever locomotive I seem to be hyperfixated on at that time, you know? Let's see, is there anything left to do? Let me double check. Well, I guess I can follow along the passenger train for a little bit. Wait for her to reach Bryson. Same really, but it's always the Mauritania and the boat department. You know boat, you don't know train. And that okay. My favorite locomotive used to change frequently until I found out about the SP Streamlined P10s. I might be biased though because I found out about them at the same time as I found my current crush. Hold on, let me look that up. No, I don't want a product. Earn the Pacific P10. Oh, those don't look too bad. Hey Jack, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Currently on a beach vacation. Hey, lucky. Wish I had the time and funds to go on a beach trip for a few days. Unfortunately, the big vacation this year is going to be my father going to Montana. Fortunately, that gives me time for the streamathon. Alright, brakes. 45 miles an hour on this curve, roger that. Maybe 47. Be careful making the Derail Valley mod for that. Don't want TK to get distracted. Dude, we have a calendar and there's this awesome picture of a P10 hauling a 6-car passenger train out in the open prairie. Very pretty. We're going to be doing a big event. Would you mind telling me what we're going to be doing? I'm probably going to be talking about it in the super secret chat on the Discord, which I'm kind of surprised you don't have access to yet, considering you're on the server. But I might also talk about it publicly. Basically, Streamathon, 7 days of streaming, nonstop, maybe 8. Most of them won't be multiplayer sessions, and I'll be doing a variety of games. What the games are, though, I have yet to decide. We'll figure it out. That curve can handle 45 just fine. Perfect. To access the super secret chat, by the way, you just need to link your Discord account and your YouTube account in Discord itself. It's not too hard to do. We need at least one day of Void Train so I can talk about the fate of Fishbird, just so you can talk about Fishbird and literally nothing else. Whoa. What the heck is this lag spike I'm getting? That was strange. Maybe one day we should do a stream where Stir could go to each one of our railroads and commit chaos. That is an idea I've had for a while, but I've never really acted on. I'm usually not one who likes too much chaos. Don't know why. Actually, I kind of do know why. Parental issues. Alright, how much money are we going to make out of this? $17. Is that it? Is that literally all we made off of this? Wow, thanks, game. You know what, we're only ending 30 minutes early. It's not that bad of a deal. I think I'm gonna call it here. I'm getting a little hungry, and I'm kind of tempted to plan the streamathon. So, as per usual, I'm gonna leave the save up a little bit for other people to play on, and I'm gonna go get myself some food. I will be in the Discord to chat for a while, and I will see you all next week. Thank you all for tuning in. Sorry it's a little bit shorter than usual. Cheers, folks.